Hello, beautiful people. I'm Dee. About to react to this Jubilee video. This is Do All Teen Moms Think the Same? Ooh, I want to hear what they got to say. My mother was a teen mom. My sister was a teen mom. So I'm very familiar with how that goes. And I feel like, of course, teen moms feel that they wouldn't trade their children for anything. I hope most of them think that. But I'm sure they have the thought, like, I should have waited, you know? I feel like most of them have that thought, like, I should have waited to have a child. And they wish that, you know, they were more stable. Because when you're a teenager, you literally... You ain't got no money. You are broke. Ain't no teenager out here balling unless you like born into a rich family, which that is not the case for most people. So you out here broke. You haven't finished high school and went to college. Like, I graduated college before my sister, and she's older than me, like much older than me. And I graduated college before her because her life was completely put on hold. Because she had children at a young age. So, you know, I feel like most of them will say that they should have waited. But maybe not. I don't know. Let's see what they say, though. Let's watch.
What's up, good humans? Welcome to another episode. You guys requested this one a lot. Thank you, Yasmin Rubio.
We hope you guys enjoy.
In Texas, it's abstinence, abstinence, abstinence. They told us in the health class just not to have sex. It's hard. I mean, every guy's nightmare is getting their girlfriend pregnant, and sometimes it comes true.
I feel like they all probably did. No, some people have really strong Christian beliefs. Oh, she currently pregnant. Oh.
My first thought was like, I'll get an abortion, I'll go to Planned Parenthood. In the end, when it came down to it, I realized that I couldn't do that. I understand how other people need to make that choice, but yeah, I did totally consider it.
I really had to think about the other women in my life that have had children. For me, the first thought that came to my mind was my mom, because she tried so hard to have a baby, and if I were to have an abortion after that, it's almost like disrespecting all the work she put in. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have this baby, and then really it came down to, am I gonna do adoption or am I gonna be a mom?
I planned this pregnancy. A lot of people might think otherwise and just be like, she's just saying that because she doesn't want people to think the baby was an accident. I can't choose for other people. You guys have your own choice, but there's so many ways you can prevent a pregnancy. You could have done it beforehand instead of once the baby's already in there and trying to kill off a heartbeat, because the baby has a heartbeat on his 4th week, and that's usually when everybody finds out they're pregnant. I don't have a choice for other people, so I mean, everybody has their own choice, but personally, I'm against it.
Okay, now don't judge people who do. Oh, I hope y'all was. Well, maybe not. Oh, damn.
The way it happened with me, I mean, I grew up in like a really like Christian household, so like it was always taught like abstinence, and like my parents didn't even know that like I was having sex. And I mean, I was using like condoms, but obviously I was naive that was gonna like work in the long run, which it doesn't. I mean, I knew that there were options out there, but it was something that was never like explained to me that I could get this so that I won't get pregnant.
I'm from Texas, and in Texas, it's abstinence, abstinence, abstinence. They told us in the health class just not to have sex. So I honestly didn't know pregnancy was so common. I thought like,
baby.
It just happened sometimes when you had sex. Sometimes you would get pregnant. I really do think that should be very mandatory in school, starting in like middle school.
Yeah, I totally agree. I live in the mountains, and it's really conservative up there. The schools are really small. I look at like my boyfriend's little sister. She's gonna be 12, and some of the girls in her grade are having sex, and she's in 6th grade. The information they're giving you in schools needs to adapt to where we are now in society, to where it's in the right grades, it's the appropriate information. They're talking about things like the implant that are somewhat new, And they really need to just kind of adapt it to where we
fucking
are now.
at 12?
Yeah, as teen
That's
moms, we need
crazy.
to take our kids and teach them everything they need to know from a young age.
I
Like,
thought
I
I
thought
was
my mom was
fucking
gonna get
early.
mad at me.
At
So
16,
be
I thought that
open
was
so
early.
they're not like scared to come talk to us about something that's so normal.
Relationships change after you have a child. 3, 2.
They probably always say agree, but how though? I want to know. Like romantic.
I used to be like super outgoing in like high school and my classes and stuff. Being pregnant as like a college student, like there's many times that I feel more timid to speak because I feel like people judge me more. And I mean, maybe that's something I just have to work on, but like definitely like my relationship with myself has changed a lot.
I bet you can all relate. Like, you meet your baby for the first time and it's like life just shifts. Like, almost the glasses of like naiveness and childhood just kind of come off, and you see the world from like that point of view. Like, you just created a life. I cried immediately for my mom and how badly I treated her as a teenager before I had my daughter. And I cried for my sister, how I treated them. Teachers, all of the things that we were given and I was entitled to. Now, after having a kid, it all changed. That just changed my mind.
Changed. The hardest person to tell for me when I got pregnant was my brother. We're twins. Right now, he's getting ready to go to prom. He's a senior in high school, and he's doing all this stuff that I'm missing out on. I wouldn't take it back for anything, but telling him was the hardest because we've always been so close. We've always been the same age. We've always had the same friends. Now that my daughter's here and she's 4 months old, you know, he comes home from work and he's like, oh, hey, and he asks me to like hold her and stuff, and it's really great and I love it. So relationships do change for the better also.
Yeah, I would say for sure, like, my relationship with my mom has changed, like, drastically. Before I even got pregnant, like, we were close, but, like, not in the sense that we shared, like, something like motherhood with each other. Because I think that just changes everything, that we now see what our parents went through and what our moms went through and how they felt. My relationship, I feel, with my mom has, like, been really good because of my pregnancy. I mean, originally, like, of course, she's disappointed in me, but then she's just, like, excited now to become grandma and stuff, yeah.
My baby's father is still involved in our lives. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh.
With my husband, he's kind of too involved. He's kind of like excluding me. Yeah, like I could barely grab my baby when he's around. He was planned, but before it all happened, he was my fiance. Well, I do come from a Hispanic family, and also the religion, and you have to be married before having intercourse and having a kid. So we kept the baby a secret for 3 months, also to make sure he stuck before we told everybody. And we found out I was pregnant on a Wednesday, and I got married that Saturday. Yeah. So he's really, really involved.
I just want to ask you, would you have gotten married if you weren't pregnant?
Right?
Would you have gotten married that early, I should say, if you weren't pregnant?
We were planning to get married the month after.
Okay.
We were still going to get married this young. It's just, he came a little earlier.
When I was 14, I got pregnant, and my boyfriend was 14 as well. And we had already broken up before I found out I was pregnant. So when I found out I was pregnant, his initial reaction was just like freaking out, get an abortion, even though you're 3 months along. And one of the first things he did was say I'm harassing him and blocked me. We got a paternity test. He decided that I was some type of slut after I found out I was pregnant, even though he was the only person I had ever been with. And after the paternity test, the court introduced visitation. She was 10 months old. She was 10 months old, and she finally got to meet her dad. And the visitation kept up for a while, but recently he's been getting into fights, and I mean, he hasn't seen her in a few months, and I don't know if I want him in her life. I don't think it's healthy for her. I'd rather do it alone
but he's
than
a
with him at this point.
teenager.
What you expect from a boyfriend, what you expect from a father are totally different things. Totally different things. And especially since men mature way slower than girls.
Yeah.
100. And the fact that we carry them for 9 months and we're up late at night, whether we breastfeed or we bottle feed or whatever, we are just so inclined to these little human beings. And for guys, you really have to be there to do that. And sometimes they don't want to be there, or they can't be there for that.
They want to milk their teenage years, especially since they are still teenagers. They're still kids, and they want to go party. They want to live their lives. So sometimes it's hard. I mean, every guy's nightmare is getting their girlfriend pregnant, and sometimes it comes true.
I would encourage other teens to have children.
What the fuck?
3,
They all better say strongly disagree. The fuck? Yeah, what? Why would you do that? So stupid. Hey, you 13, have a child.
I feel like I wouldn't encourage them, not go up to the teen like, you should get pregnant.
Right.
Hey, you should get pregnant. If that's their choice, that's their choice. If it could be prevented, if they feel like they're not ready, then just don't. Because
you're not ready, you a teenager.
I miss my sleep.
I think it's interesting to talk to you because you planned it.
Yeah, if someone came up to me, I wouldn't say yes or no. I would just be like, are you ready? And I would give them so many scenarios of, do you have a job?
Are you ready?
Are you mentally prepared for it? Some people are.
That's the funny part. It's like everyone always thinks about the financials and they always think about, do you have a place and this and that. I'm like, I get it. Those are so incredibly huge. But like mentally, every parent that I've ever met, it's like, it's hard being a parent at any age.
Yeah.
So let alone figuring yourself out, and then you're figuring out a little human being as well.
I think there's a huge difference between supporting teen moms and supporting teens to become moms. I think there's a big difference between that.
100%.
I think people look at it and they see like what I post on Instagram and the stuff I post on Instagram, the things that I post on Facebook.
The perfect version of it.
It's not what being a mom is actually like, because it's, it's cute little pictures of my daughter in dresses, stuff like that, and that's not what being a mom is like.
Having a baby changed my life for the better. 3.
They're all gonna say strongly agree because they don't wanna be honest. I mean, they might be being honest.
It's no longer like I'm just doing this for myself. I mean, I can't compare it to you guys yet because I don't have my baby yet. But like, I mean, it's as simple as getting up and going to my class. But I have a whole new motivation to do something as simple as that and strive for my best. So
the hard times became beautiful because at the end of every long cry that I had before her, I had her. And I had, our future to dream about. I'm over here going through some of the hardest things, and she gave me a whole new perspective. So no, it didn't get easier, but she turned everything, bad and good, better.
Okay, I want hugs.
This honestly just further made me not want to have kids like that. Like, the older I get, the more I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good on kids. I don't want to be bothered. Like, I just don't want to go through this at all. Like, obviously this is a different case because they're teenage moms, but still, just them being moms in general, I don't want to go through that. And the reason why I commented when they all went to the strongly agree side, when they said, having a child changed my life for the better, there was this article that came out that was talking about how a lot of moms feel guilty to acknowledge that, they sometimes regret having their child, and, times are so hard sometimes that they just feel like, oh, like, I'm just stressed out. Like, why did I do this? Like, I'm stuck with this child. It was a very honest article, and it got like a lot of popularity, and a lot of moms start coming forward and saying like, yeah, I feel so guilty to acknowledge this, but this is, the reality that a lot of moms don't want to admit, that it's just like, this is hard. Like, this is a little person that I'm responsible for 24/7, and I'm responsible for myself. Like, it's just a lot going on. And it just doesn't make motherhood appealing to me at all. Like, I would have kids because I don't want to be selfish. Like, hypothetically, if I do get married, I don't want to deny my husband that, because I'm sure he's going to want kids. Most people do. So I don't want to deny them that. But if my husband was like, nah, I don't care, oh, bet. It's like, let's not do it. Like, let's get a dog, if anything. And I don't even want that. I don't want that responsibility either. But like, I don't want to be bothered with kids, and I'm definitely not pushing a child out regardless. I'm not doing that. At first I was like, it's a small chance that I might, but nah, I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that. It does not sound appealing at all. It sounds like the worst thing in the entire world. I'm gonna get a surrogate, or I'm adopting. I'm not pushing nothing out of my body. I'm not going through that for 9 months. Fuck out of here. Anyway, just my little rant about motherhood and all. But yeah, it's crazy that, they had kids so young. That one girl had her baby at 14. 14? Or did she say she got pregnant at 14? No, I think she had her baby at 14. So she was fucking since she's been like 13. Like, that's crazy. You really have to educate your children, educate them on being safe so that they don't have children so early. This is very, very early. Anyway, this is a really interesting video, though. Makes you think. Let me know what y'all thought, though. Let me know what other videos you want me to react to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!